saw people getting shot in the head in Statutska Street, and that became the beginning of my journey in Ukraine, working with dialogue facilitation, nonviolent communication, and reconciliation. I worked very closely together with Olena Hansiak-Kaskit, that was also supposed to be here today. She could not come, unfortunately, so I will speak on behalf of both of us. We have started an NGO together called Dignity Space, and in this NGO we are committed to use the principles and methodology of nonviolent communication to help people with emotional recovery, help people to solve conflicts peacefully, and help people to reconcile after violent conflicts. Following the revolution at Maidan, we facilitated a series of meetings between Berkut riot police and Maidan activists that helped the people that were fighting each other at Maidan to dive into the experiences of pain, of loss of dignity and humiliation, and to find common ground in a shared humanity. Most of these people that we work with, Berkut and the Maidan activists, they developed various levels of friendship following these meetings. So for me, this is what I consider the essence of reconciliation, to help former combatants to develop a sense of friendship, mutual cooperation, feeling that they belong to the same community. What we also did in the summer and in the autumn of 2014, in East we had several informal dialogues, facilitated several informal dialogues between Ukrainians who had a pro-Russian perspective and Ukrainians who had a pro-European perspective. Then I started to work in the famous OSCE mission working in Ukraine, in Donbass. And while this was happening, Dignity Space continued to offer a series of trainings and reached more than 2,000 people with the methodology of nonviolent communication. Now we work together again in Dignity Space, and we are searching for ways to bridge the contact line, to reach out to those Ukrainians on the other side of the contact line that so much are longing to feel part of the Ukrainian community, but they feel that there's no space for them because they don't hate Russians. They don't see Russia as an enemy, and they just really, really struggle to figure out a way to have a shared Ukrainian identity without hating Russians. So in our meetings, when we have the meetings with these people in despair, in pain, with massive experiences of violence, sometimes these people have been perpetrators of violence, causing harm, perhaps even killing other people. When we have these people and gather them, we use the same methodology as Caritas. We put these cards with needs on the floor, and we ask them to use these cards to express themselves. So instead of talking about who is to blame, who is to be blamed and punished because of my pain and suffering, we are asking them, please tell us, what do you value in life? What are you longing for? And when people walk around and they look at these words suggesting peace, friendship, safety, protection, community, caring, empathy, understanding, when they use these words to describe what is going on for them and what is really important for them, then we are much more likely to build a shared understanding of humanity, to go under the layers of hate, of aggression, of violence, of hate speech, and reveal the humanity within ourselves. In my time, I have talked with quite a lot of people on the other side of the contact line in Luhansk and Donetsk. I have talked with Russian mercenaries. I've talked with Ukrainians who were fighting against the ARTU. I've talked with people in the civil administrations in Luhansk and ordinary civilians. And what I have learned from these talks is that if people in Western Ukraine, in Kiev, in Lviv, in Ivano-Frankivsk and other places, if you had a chance to hear what I heard, I am convinced that you would no longer see an enemy. You would see a person who has different perspectives from yourself, but you will see at the heart of all of this, we are longing for the same thing. We are longing for safety. We are longing for community. We are longing for love and peace. we just cannot find a way to agree how to reach this end goal. Without talking with each other, it's very, very difficult to find a peaceful solution. So one of these questions that are staying with me also after the conference we participated in yesterday is how are Ukrainian identity created? And there was a person at this conference yesterday. He said that Ukrainian identity and Ukrainian patriotism has deep roots in seeing ourselves as victims of aggression, in particular Russian aggression. And I would just really, as a foreigner, knowing Ukraine but not speaking the language and still being a foreigner, I would really encourage a new investigation of the Ukrainian identity and Ukrainian patriotism based on what is the beauty of this country, what is the beauty of your culture, of your history, of what makes you Ukrainian. To celebrate that instead of celebrating, or not celebrating, but instead of using hate as a way to define yourself. If we look into our beauty, then we will find that we have much more in common with people around us, even our enemies. Thank you.